But how about this part? How about this part? Now, his son seems like a good kid, I guess. You know what I mean? Like no record or anything, right? Now what? Right now, what if he grows up and he does become a criminal? He starts committing crimes and he's got felonies and shit. Whose blame is that? Because now he was raised by his mom. We feel sorry for him for not having a father.
That's his father's blame. That's what they're gonna say.
You see what I'm saying?
But that's what they're gonna say. It's his father's fault.
Do you see what I'm saying? How you damn if you do, damn if you don't?
It's not the person who raised his fault, but it's his father's fault.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Prodigal.
Force focus, real talk. My man Reptile King in the building, man. Hey, man, you got the Reptile ready? You not ready, man? What's up? You ready?
I'm
ready. Cameras, ready?
Yep.
Lights, ready? Prodigal Brothers, ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, yo, what's going on? What's going on, folks? It's another Friday, man, and you know we back once again, Prodigal Brothers Podcast. We got here today another special guest, because you know we like to share it with the community, man. We like to shout out community leaders and bring on people that's interesting to us. And one of my best friends in life since day one, right? Yo, how long I know you, bro?
32 years. We met pre-K, so I was 4 years old.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Pre-K.
And this day and age, friends don't last too long, man. I'm glad you was a real one. But this is my man Reptile King. What's up, man? How you living?
I'm all right. As you see the Reptile, Reptile King. I'm good, dog.
Wear it as a necklace?
I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, some people like ice on their neck. I don't really like, you know what I mean? But I'm happy to be back, y'all. Definitely, this is one of my favorite platforms to be on, to come back to. I always say
Appreciate
that.
you.
I mean that. I mean that. So I'm happy to be here and get things started.
Like I said, you always a real one, so I know you telling the truth.
Right.
Yes,
Will,
sir.
what's good, bro? How you living?
Living good, man. Living consistent, as always. I'm good.
Yeah,
I can't
man.
complain about too much.
Keeping it consistent?
Yeah. You know.
That's what I'm talking about. You always consistently fresh on the show, too. I see you. Stay consistent, man. Uplifting, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Real quick, short and sweet.
Back to season 3, Uplifting, man.
What's going on?
Short and sweet, man. Short and sweet. What's going on, everybody, man? We coming back with an action-packed episode, man. What's going on in the world, fellas?
A lot of stuff, man. Elon Musk has bought Twitter back, or bought Twitter.
I thought he been did that.
No, it came to terms this week.
Oh, okay.
It's wild out there, man. It's the wild, wild west on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on Twitter? That's one thing I'm not on, yo, for real,
What's
man.
going
I
on
can't
in
be
the
on.
world?
I can't be on everything.
Well,
yo.
we on there.
We on there?
Prodigal Brothers on there.
Okay.
Yeah, we on there. Yeah.
Oh, we gonna get set up on the Twitter, man. Be on the lookout for that, folks.
No, we already set up. We on there.
Okay.
As soon as we got free speech back, hey, we on there.
So what is that? That's what Elon Musk doing, bringing free speech back?
Well, yeah, he's fired everybody in Twitter, and then now everybody's accounts who got banned for saying stuff that wasn't politically correct or they didn't deem was the proper agenda now has been lifted. So, you know, Trump will be back on there, and that's always a funny guy.
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
I mean, not saying I agree with his politics, but hey, it's funny, man. I don't like watching the news now. Biden's not funny. If I knew Trump, I pop popcorn to watch Trump give his speeches because this is gonna be some comedy shit, man.
Man, you already know. So I always said that Trump, you know, they get speeches written for him, man. Trump just go off the he don't do that shit.
Yeah, he just pay him. He's like, thank you for writing this. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
But I'm saying,
What I want to say, yeah.
He's saying whatever. Yo, can you imagine their faces? They be like, yo, that's not what we wrote. He's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You definitely don't give a damn.
Yeah, he was like a wild toddler. Like, I know you don't act like that at home. Why you gonna do this in the store?
He probably does. I can believe Trump acts like that at home.
You believe so?
He got money.
Yeah, right.
I mean, when you're a billionaire, you can act how you want to act. Who gonna check him?
Right.
Most people probably want to act like that at home because they're afraid what their wife gonna say. What the fuck is wife gonna say?
But he better get checked now by the U.S. government. Then they run up in him.
I mean, that's what they say.
Yeah.
That's just for a show, man.
Has it happened? No, but for real, it hasn't happened.
Hey, he always beat the case, man. That's one thing about
It's
it.
just for
money.
show. It's just for show. Like, to give an example, like they raided his home.
Right.
If the FBI raid either one of our homes, we in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. right.
You be like, hey,
They
well,
don't, they don't just raid you and let you free, right?
Right,
We,
so
we in jail until we beat the case.
right. So that's what that is. Shows is just for show. And
Just
the
like
FBI
Young Thug in
raids
them
you-
right now.
Yeah, the FBI raids your home. You were in jail. You're not talking to nobody. You might as well say goodbye. I'm like, damn, hey man, when can I come visit?
I had a good run. I had a good run.
And then they put you in a federal jail across the state. I'm like, yeah, we can't visit, but like twice every 5 years.
Right. Put you in Wisconsin somewhere, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't nobody coming all the way out there, man.
Yeah.
What else going on, man?
Hey, football's back.
The world,
Football
what's going on?
been
The world,
back,
yo. No, I'm saying
the
it's-
world is worlding.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what's
yeah?
happening. So I feel like, how can I put this? I don't know. Now, what I mean by it is, it's always something going on every 2 weeks to a month. Like,
Yeah.
so Kanye stuff, we got this Rihanna stuff.
my
But to
God.
my opinion, things that don't matter. But people just want to talk about it. It doesn't matter individually. Even with the Twitter thing,
Yeah.
it don't matter to us.
That's a
It's-
good
it's
point, yo.
something to
You
talk
think a
about.
lot of the stuff
It's
is
something-
distractions?
It is. I'll keep it real. It's a distraction to the common modern person. Meaning, I'll just keep it blunt. We're sitting here right now talking about Trump, Twitter. I just brought up Rihanna, NFL, this, that, and the third. Ain't none of
Right.
them talking about us. You know why? Because they focus on themselves.
Yeah.
What they got to do to be up. We ain't doing that shit, though. So that's what I mean by the world is worlding.
No, I think
Every 2 weeks to a month, it's a new subject to talk about, and everybody gets so caught up on what these people are doing, they're caught up on themselves. And I feel like that's kind of something that we need to, the average person, and average not being a bad thing, but average meaning most of us, that's something that we don't do too much. Like, keep it real. I want it to be one day where these motherfuckers talking about me, where these people talking about the Prodigal Brothers.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying? Like,
and that's what I was about to tell you. See, what I do is, because we in the Prodigal Brothers, we got to talk about the world because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But what I do is I try to use these stories and try to put it as a lesson for either my community or myself. You understand? Because what they say, a smart man learns from his mistakes.
Absolutely.
A wise man learns from everybody else's mistakes.
that's true.
So yeah, the world is worlding, but you can't get caught up in it. But you definitely got to watch it.
Gotta watch
You
it.
understand?
Observe it,
Yeah.
watch
you gotta
it.
pay attention to what's
Pay
going
attention.
on.
You feel me? That's
Yeah.
why I always like to pay attention, especially now that we do this here. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
But one thing that caught my eye since we talking about the world, because somebody else that's in the news is 50 Cent,
Him and his son.
him and his son, right? Now
I don't think a lot of people. I get it. I get it 100%.
you get it 100%.
I get it 100%.
So 50 because somebody may look at this and like 50 disowning his son.
he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's basically that's the headline though, right?
I've seen some posts talk about, oh, he needs to be an adult. That's not a father. This. We are human beings. I'll go as far as saying this. You know what I went through the last almost 15 months now. All right, so I was going through a custody battle with my child, my 15-year-old son. 15 months I did not see him.
Damn.
15 months.
15 months. Now, you know, me and my son growing up was like my best friend, as they showed the videos of 50 when his son was young.
Right.
But I have that type of had on and off that type of relationship with my son's mother, where she wants to use my son as a pawn, turn him against me.
Yeah.
Literally, no, so like we're good now. We went to court, everything was done with. But literally, the last time I saw my son before the 15 months, we had just went to the movies to see one of his favorite movies. We went partying, not partying like that, but we went to a dance competition where we had fun, danced afterwards. It's my best friend. Didn't see him for 15 months. Me and her beefing. I'm literally begging. I just want to see my son. Little by little, before she blocked me from his phone. I say they both, but the last things I got from my son, I still don't know if it was her or him cursing at me. That's not my son at all. F you.
Right.
Hold up. On some Kirk Franklin son shit?
Yeah, but now it's texting though, so it's like just in that little bit of time, a 15-year-old, 14-year-old at the time, disrespecting me and cursing at me, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It hurts me to my core.
So what you saying?
See
It was
my
against
one-
his character?
It was against his character, but during that little bit of time, he's turning into his mother.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
13, 14, you don't judge that, but 50 Cent's child is an adult at this point. So you're talking from a
Right.
preteen, probably for the last 10 years, you've grown, you've disrespected me. Now you're a man, you're still disrespecting me. This is different for what's being played out on the media for
Of course.
us.
Yeah.
Right.
But you've gone through the whole heartbreaking of like, you were my first child. I love you with everything. I would have given you anything. But now, so I don't really fault 50 Cent. 50 ain't never said he don't love it. I even go as far as saying this. I ain't in the streets like 50 was. So the people that shot this man nine times,
Right.
then did his son go up and post pictures with, as they call it now, the ops and stuff like that?
Yeah, but not only
You're a grown man.
but not only that,
What's
he was
between
hanging
us
he
is
was
between-
hanging out with him. You
That's
feel what I'm
trying
saying?
to say. So that hurts.
So look, do you think I'm glad you shared a bit of your situation, right? So you think your situation is similar to what 50 Cent was going through with his baby mother? You think he was going through a similar situation with yours?
My situation could have gotten there.
Right.
If I did not see my son anymore until my son was 25 years old, I'm sure my son would have done a lot of disrespectful things because they become their mothers. Because the mothers.
But listen,
hate
how
the
do you
fathers.
go that long without seeing? You feel what I'm saying? Like, so the thing about the 50 situation, right? He was saying that basically, like, your son's a teenager and he was going into a grown man, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was basically saying that his son purposely wasn't seeing him. You feel me?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Basically running away.
I'll-
Because 50 said every
Right.
time
Yeah.
he tried to,
And that's what
he
I was
even
about to
ran
s-
up
and
on
that's
him
what
in
I was
places
gonna
he was
say.
going
We're
to
only
be.
seeing what it is now. Now, I got lucky with my situation. Like, one of the things my son's mother said before we went to court was, and a lot of judges will go for this, well, he's 14 now, he's 15 now. All he got to do is go in that court, say he don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Right.
The judge didn't go with that with my son. Once everything was laid down, they saw what type of father I was. And my son loves me. So like I said, a lot of those text messages, I believe, were from his mother, not him. But back to the whole 50 thing, if 50 actually was, and his son's 14, 15, 16, 17, you can try to run down on your son.
Yeah.
If he rejects you, it's nothing you can do as a father.
Right.
There's
And
nothing you could do.
Right.
and
That's
again,
basically where 50's coming
so, and as men, I'm not this type, but I understand most men are. It's hard to really put your feelings out there for the world. So was 50 heartbroken? I'm sure he was. He's not gonna say that or show that for the world. He's 50 Cent.
Right.
I'm
I
sure
think he
was
did say
heartbroken.
that, though.
Well, I mean, I'm saying he might have. I didn't see those, but I'm just saying. But it's hard for a man to sit down and basically cry out. Like I'll tell people now, there were days in that 15 months without seeing my son. Even though I knew I was doing the right thing, going to court, my lawyers telling me I'm gonna get everything I want. I'm gonna see my son. There were days I'm leaving work, coming down the highway, crying my eyes out because I missed my boy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we don't know if that's what 50 went through. He probably did. He's human.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He probably did. So a lot of, I think now, it's his hurt. It's his hurt, and even now, his son. I'm gonna just call. I feel like he's pulling a stunt, because even at that point, you don't gotta come on social media and say, "I just want my dad." If you just want your dad,
Yo, and he too old for that, right?
too old for that.
He like 25 years
too
old,
old for
right?
that.
Yeah.
So Will, what you as a father of three boys, yo, like what'd you say about that situation, yo? About 50 basically trying to disown his son or saying that he disowned him.
Well, I mean, it's the whole world's in his business, and like Snake Man is saying, more than likely that is what has happened. Because I know from my own experience growing up, and then like realizing as a child, when you're separated from your father, because I saw my father during the summer months.
Right.
I spent all summer with my father.
Okay.
So you're majority around your mother. So what you hear is your mother saying this, saying that, saying this,
Right.
saying that. And it wasn't until I started to grow up that I saw there was two sides to the story. You know?
When you got older.
Yeah, and then it became times to where it's like, I'm sure every situation is different, but most children just side with their mother. I mean, no child, unless they've seen like their mother like laying on the couch with a needle in her arm,
They're gonna
or
side with
like
their mother.
fucking drugged out or some shit. Most kids will side with their mother. There's nothing
Right.
really the father can do if the mother is spitting toxic shit out.
Yeah,
And in 50's situation, I mean, like I said, his son is grown.
Right.
But he is growing up in that era to where that age group puts all their business on social media.
Right, of
So he
course.
probably thought that was an appropriate response instead of going man to man Like if I got a problem with you, Al, I'm not gonna get on Facebook like, yo, fuck Al.
Exactly.
I'm gonna call
Right.
you up. I know where you at. I'm like, hey man, what's going on here?
Right.
But they live in that world. That's what you do.
Right.
And 50 is like everybody saying, hey, 50, you should take care of your son. You should have been there. You should have tried harder. Sometimes trying harder kills you or gets you in trouble. Yeah. I've known a person who left the state of Maryland just so he stopped getting trumped up charges. Because every time he came to get the kids, it was always an altercation.
That's real.
So for his own safety, so that he isn't behind bars, he just took a flight and he never came back. I'm not saying that's the answer.
Right.
But, I mean, not everybody got money to keep getting bailed out.
Right. Of course.
Like as you said, everybody's situation different. That he analyzed his situation and felt that was best for him as far as longevity in the future.
Right.
And so, but that's what I'm saying about. So you mentioned it, right? So parents can turn their kids against the other parent, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
We're in agreement with that, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
That happens. But you even mentioned when you get to a certain age, you start to figure things out for yourself.
Well, you should. Not everybody wants to look themselves in the mirror. See, when you say figure certain things out from like you're
I'm
breaking.
talking about from the child's standpoint.
Yeah, that's
it
what I'm
could be
saying.
18, 21, 25, 30, 35. As you said again, everybody's different.
Yeah, and to actually put things in perspective to what they really were and not what they assumed to be, you also have to like look at yourself and rethink how you reacted in those situations. And then in doing so, a lot of people find themselves in the wrong. And that's hard to say that you're wrong and be like, hey, I should change this or I should try to move. But it's easier just to go along with it.
Okay.
Like, hey, he abandoned me. Fuck it. Then instead of saying, hey, Dad, I want to be in life with you. I'm sorry for the things I said.
Right. But my thing is, look, like you said, you usually side with your mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, as a boy, you turn into a man, and you should be able to see both sides of the coin and realize that
No.
yeah,
Nope.
no.
And I'm going to tell
So
you
Never.
why.
So that's my question.
I'm going to tell you why
that doesn't
not.
happen, right?
I'm going to
No,
tell you
it
why
doesn't.
not.
Speak that uplifting.
Hold on, give me one sec. I'm going to tell you why not real quick. And this is a conversation me and you have had, but I'm saying men raised by women is
Okay.
a whole different conversation we're not going to go into right now. But you're a different type of man. So as you just said, you sugar up to a man.
No,
You're a
but
different type of
loyalty.
man.
We're talking about loyalty. If my mom raised me to hate my father, if your mother raises you a Christian, as much as you want to get away from it, you may
That's how you're raised.
at the core of you have to unlearn being a Christian, or you got to learn something else that will override your Christianity. So how can you, even as a man, you'll see that your dad wasn't wrong, but you're not going to go against your mom.
That's right.
Right.
I love her.
So that's part to do
Yeah.
with what Will's saying. He knows what's right, but it's so
it's
easy
a stunt,
being wrong.
bro. He's 25.
He's that's my point.
He wants
He's a
some bread and he
grown-ass
want to be
man.
seen because he could easily have just DM 50. And 50's right. And that's the problem too here. Women have kids. People have kids. They make children.
Right.
And if a woman's going to do a certain thing to a child, just like Reptile King was saying, he 14 years old. At 14, 15 years old, the state can step in and be your child's parent and say what they can legally tell you. Because I don't care what no state would say. If I want to see my kid, before they're 18, if I got to give up money for this kid, they better see me.
They better right.
Right. So
they gotta see you.
But
Right.
if they can, if they are adults enough to make those type of decisions, as a man, you got to do what's in your best interest. 50 got other stuff going on. He got businesses. He got families. Like, and just like, Chuck was saying, like, we got shit going on in our lives.
Right.
We don't got time to keep running after these kids that been sold a bill of goods by their mom. He was giving her $1 million or $500,000 a month.
Right.
She said it wasn't enough, tried
Wasn't
to take
enough.
him back. So
Yeah.
he said, I'm a lawyer up and beat the case.
Exactly. And that's how he got stuck
And
with that 6,700, right?
And the text messages.
That he complaining about.
The text messages, he was cussing his dad out, acting
Yeah.
all weird.
Right,
And it was,
he was.
and 50 said in the interview with the Breakfast Club, he said, I knew I was talking to his mom. That's why I was talking to him like that. He was like,
Exactly.
even them putting the text messages out is a stunt. He was like, she done lost the house now that they had in Atlanta. She never got a job. Like, we gotta put the onus on these women. 50 is the father. So it's like, why doesn't the father always go and do whatever he got to do for these kids? But men have lives. Men have lives and other families.
That brings me to another point that I wanted to bring up. How many hoops are we supposed to jump through? You know what I mean?
As many as you are willing to go through.
That's how
Exactly. And
I
I
think
think
that's
that's
the
how
right
50
answer.
feels.
That's how I
50's like, look, I done did everything I can do besides lose my dignity to try to be in your life.
Yeah.
When all you want is to take from me.
And that's
You don't want a father.
you don't wanna
want to
hang
love
out with me?
Because I've seen 50 with his other son.
That's
Yeah.
true.
right.
And
No,
that's
no,
the problem
I agree.
too.
That's what you don't want to fall. You don't want to fall.
And that's
That's
what
not-
I.
That's not what
Right.
you really want.
And that's what we usually get as men is we get that from our women or other women is like, well, look how he treating his other kid. Well, look how he treating his other situation that's better.
Right.
Well, look how
Look
they
how he
communicate.
look how he's treating a real co-parent.
Yeah, look, what's wrong with him handling a situation that is helping and nurturing to him and the child? He got to go over here and keep running after this woman because he ain't running after the child.
Right.
He running after the woman, and the woman is taking advantage of the child.
Taking advantage of the situation. But my main concern, man, is that how are we complaining about this as he's a 25-year-old man. He's a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all saying that he's a different man because he was raised by a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He pussy.
Hey,
He out here.
for
he out
lack
here-
of better terms, or that's the real term.
no, he
You
pussy.
acting
He
pussy.
out here bitching to the public.
Bitching to the public
He
about
pussy.
your father that you can easily see, and you ain't been on child support for 7 years. Yo, I can't even believe that people are siding with this grown man
Well,
about him not having a
You got,
pops.
I don't think it's a surprise.
A lot of people is
I
though.
can believe it because that's our society.
Yeah, I was getting ready to
That's
say
our
that. Yeah.
That is our society. I can believe it.
Yeah, our society says, Al, the reason that such and such is happening to you is none of your fault. You did nothing wrong.
Right.
You need to take a mental illness break today.
It was your father's fault.
That's right.
But
look,
it's so many reasons why.
But how about this part? How about this part? Now, his son seems like a good kid, I guess. You know what I mean? Like no
He ain't a
record or
thug,
anything,
he ain't
right?
no gangster.
Now what? Right. Now what if he grows up and he does become a criminal? He starts committing crimes and he's got felonies and
Who he
shit.
gonna call- he gonna call his
Whose blame is that?
He gonna call his
Because
father,
now he
call
was
his
raised by his mom.
Well,
we feel sorry
well,
for
we know
him
whose
for not
blame
having a
is.
father.
That's his father's blame.
Ex-
That's what they're gonna
you,
say.
You see what I'm
That's-
saying?
I mean, that's not. But that's what they're gonna say. It's,
Do you
it's his father's fault.
Do you
We're
see
not
what I'm
gonna
saying?
say
How you damn
the
if you
person
do,
who
damn if you
raised
don't?
him. It's not the person who raised
Right.
his fault, but it's his father's fault. That's what they're gonna say is his father's fault.
Well, we're talking about accountability, and we know
Women
a lot of people don't
find that hard
you know, with accountability. Yeah,
know what that word is.
It's hard to even as a man sometimes, you know, in certain
That is
situations,
true. That's
it's
true.
hard to accept the fault or the
Of course.
accountability because
It's tough to deal with.
like I said before, you have to look yourself in the mirror and realize that everything you thought was right is completely wrong. You know, and another reason you don't go against your moms is because you're gonna have the whole family after you. You're gonna have your uncles. I'm not saying like after you like to beat you up, but everybody,
Right.
you ain't gonna be welcome to the cookout.
Right,
Like if I would have told my mom, hey, mom, I don't wanna live with you anymore, I'm gonna go live with my dad, I would have never been able to go back to a cookout. They're like, oh, this motherfucker, they're gonna choose
So
his
you
dad.
think
But you
whole
know why? You
whole
know why,
entire
though?
families disown you if
But
you
hold on.
don't if you
Yes.
think your mother's done something
but
wrong?
you know
Yes.
why? Side note, I tell my mother this all the time. While I don't tell her my business anymore, because as soon as you go against your mother gonna get on the phone and tell her sister, her other sister, your dad ain't really gonna do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But that's why your family
mama
gonna
tell
feel
all
that,
your
because
business, don't
Your mama gonna tell your whole family everything. Am I lying? No.
Nah, that's
Your
facts.
dad
That's
gonna try
facts.
to keep it to
It is.
herself.
You can be like,
but,
oh.
but that's why your family gonna go against you. Why else would they? They don't just know because what you did. Your mama gonna tell everybody.
Yeah.
He just disrespected me. He said he gonna go live with his daddy and this, that, and
After all I done,
right.
he's still peeing the bed.
She gonna go
Start,
tell the
start
whole
sharing
family
all your
everything.
embarrassing
He can't
shit.
even wash his
he think,
ass right.
He think he a grown ass man.
You know how many shit
He's
stains?
soft though, bro. Like
he looks soft.
just
man.
running,
He is.
just running to the internet to other people instead of
Strangers.
actually
Straight
atting
up
50
strangers.
Cent, calling them, DMing them. It's not hard for him to get in connection with this man.
Of course.
So it's definitely a ploy, and it's something women would do.
Right.
And you know the
Like,
funny-
and I hate to say
and
it
it's
like
crazy
that, but-
it's crazy that he don't see that.
Cause but he's still a kid.
But
bro.
how you complain
Like,
about your childhood at 25?
But
bro?
only bail
Come
I'm
on, y'all.
only bail I'm gonna shoot him is at 25 because now he looking around, the money ain't coming. He probably got to actually go and get it, or he got to do certain things, and he don't have his dad to rely on, and he sees how his dad is with his other son.
Yeah, it is
Like
it's a prideful
he
thing.
25, bro. Like we had to. I mean, we're a little bit older, so I'm trying to shoot the young man some bail. He had to figure.
Listen, but we was all 25 once, and
Yeah.
we started this podcast because we kind of grew up without fathers. Ain't no conduct for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
I
Facts.
literally seen my father twice in my entire life, right? But by the time I got 25, I was fucking over that. like you feel me? Like by that time, there was nothing more he could even do for me. So why would I complain? Why would I constantly complain about that shit?
50 Cent's son grew up privileged, regardless if he complains about not having as much as he wanted. He still grew up privileged and spoiled. So, and he wasn't taught how to be an adult. He wasn't taught that survival skills. You know, so at 25 years old, he's probably mentally and emotionally more so like a 17, 18-year-old.
Yeah, of course.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he didn't have to think to himself, well, damn, at 18, I might have to be out the house.
So
Might have
because
to
he
go
was
to college
privileged,
and get a
because he was
career to take
privileged,
care of myself.
his mentality is held back.
That's reality.
Of course, he was privileged,
That's
and
reality.
he saw his mother not working, so that's what he grew up and
Right.
saw. So naturally,
He never saw a hardworking person have to provide for
Yeah.
the most part. So even his
Okay.
dad he did work hard, but as a kid, he didn't realize I was working hard. So probably by the time he realized, I'm just guessing, 12, 13 years old, you just see your dad on TV and music videos with 100 beautiful women and throwing money, this, that, and the
Right.
third. He did not see hard work to get what you have in life to flourish. Out of the way they're supposed to be done and created. So
Yeah.
This ain't being recorded, is it? But it don't matter. But
we record. Of course, we
I
record,
mean,
man.
wait, but
So
this
you
is a
think
conversation.
only single parents keep their children first?
I'm not gonna say only, but because I can't. That will mean 100% of people, but most of the time, yes. So here's what it comes down to. Like I said, doing things out of order. All right. So my son's mother didn't get this at one point. I'll say once we broke up.
Right.
But if you meet a woman, we're none of us are married, so we're all mid-30s, not married.
Yeah.
I think we all have kids.
I'm out here thotting.
All right. So if
You still thought
if
at
the
30?
first-
Still
if
thought.
our
Heard
first
that.
if our first child's mothers were our girlfriends, I can speak for mine what it was. We were in love with this woman. We're in a relationship with this woman. We have a child with this woman. At that young 20-something age that we were, that woman means everything to us.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
child is a product of that love that I have for that woman. If I ended up marrying my son's mother still is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
I will always feel that way. But I think people don't want to say it that way because it takes away. If they feel like it takes away from saying, "Well, you want to do no." I know I would still do anything for my son. I would give my life for my son. But if I would have ended up marrying that person, she is the number one person. Now I used to tell it to my son's mother. You know why? Because here's the reality of the thing. You go ahead and give everything to your child if you want to. That child's going to be 18, 20, whatever one day.
Right.
Leave the nest. Go find love on their own.
Right.
Yeah,
And give all of their love to somebody else.
And now you lonely.
And that's okay. That,
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I still got my wife.
Right.
Right.
My wife is still my number one. So once we break up with those people we had children with, then I guess so you have a void to fill. So that your number one love in your life
Is
does
your child.
become your child.
Yeah,
And
but-
I think that's a natural feeling to have.
But this whole 50 situation, even when dads split with moms, people always want to play on your moral compass, right?
Of course.
Morality only comes into play when there's money involved.
that is
If
true.
you're making a lot of money, somebody wants you to come down and be a better person and have your morals. Like, morally, no, you wouldn't.
Right.
Because you don't know how you would act with $20 million in your bank account.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
At all.
And or when dads break up with the mom, he should do this. Why? It's money involved. It's never time. It's never real moral things. It's never integrity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's never love. It's never anything that really matters. It's money. Because that's what Marquise was arguing
That's
about.
what he's complaining about.
Money.
And
He
that's
wasn't
what
even
everybody was talking
He
about.
wasn't
the
talking about
6800.
time that he
Right,
missed.
right.
He was talking about how do I get so little while you make so much.
Exactly.
That's what's his number one complaint.
And everybody had something to say, but even the headline said he was getting $6,700 a
was
month.
about
That
money.
was the catchiness.
It was
it's
about money.
always money.
Always.
Always when it comes to kids.
If a mother really felt a certain way about such stuff like that, all right, you have fathers who the mother feels a certain way, then okay, give me my child. Let my child stay with me. Dwayne
Right.
Wade. He was beefing with his ex-wife or whatever. Now, regardless how you feel about, but okay, well, you know what?
Hey,
give me my kid.
But that's almost was the same situation as 50, right?
Almost, but
right.
no,
because she claimed that she was broke because of him.
Then give me my kids. Let me be a father. If it's about my being a father, give me my kids.
Yeah.
It's
So
always
don't
gonna be
talk
about
about the money.
It's always about money.
Most definitely. But it's funny that we bring up the dynamics of the relationships between the mother and father because we about to talk about relationships right now, right?
Okay.
Another trending topic
Okay.
that's going on in the world, right?
Always.
We talking about polyamorous relationships. Is that how you say it, yo?
That's where we going now.
Yeah, that's where
You
we
the host.
going, yo.
You should have pronounced the words. Been in the mirror enunciating it. Polyamorous.
I'm sorry. I don't do that, man. I'm still from the hood, goddamn it. So I'm just one of those hosts, goddamn it. I'm trying it as I'm in it. Polyamorous. That's how you say it, right?
I just say poly for sure because.
See?
But no, I would say it because
See?
people
We
try to
taking
break
shortcuts
because
'cause we
people
some
try to
hood
break
niggas.
it down so many times. Well, there's different types of poly. There's polygamy. There's polyamorous. There's a polygon. There's poly want a cracker. There's all this. It's all these polys.
Hold
you know
up,
what
but
I'm
do you
saying?
know the different types?
I don't know every single. I'm gonna tell you why I don't know every
What you
single type.
familiar with, yo?
Well, hold on, I'm gonna tell you why I don't know every single type
Okay.
because.
Is it almost like gender these days? It's like
No, it's funny you go there. 'Cause
there's only three
it
types.
almost is.
only 3 types of poly? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why I feel like it is almost that because bringing up the gender thing because for example, you'll have somebody that says, "I'm not bisexual. I'm just sexually fluent," which means that I'm not saying that I'm attracted to only men or only women. I'm just attracted to. You're bisexual.
Right, they just name it something different.
It's the
But
definition
we
wise.
already discussed that
it's
on
the
season
same-
finale of season 4, yo.
Definition wise,
it's a lot of
it's
different.
the same thing, but you wanna put a different title on it to make it sound beautiful or acceptable or
Yeah,
different.
that's the way of the world, man. But
that's-
Will seem
no,
like he
that's-
know what's
that's
going
the
on.
way-
What's
that's the
Will,
way of
what's the
social
three,
media
what's the
work.
3 type of polys, yo?
I don't know the names. I know.
Oh.
I know the situations.
Okay.
So you got the man and the multiple wives.
All right.
You got the woman and the multiple husbands.
Okay.
And then you have the men and women who commingle together.
They bisexual, like you just
No,
said.
I'm not. No. I'm not saying
Commingle?
No, I'm not saying they're bisexual. I mean, like they have like a community. Like I have sex with your wife, you have sex with my wife,
Oh.
like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they live in a community.
What
where
they used to
they
call
share everything.
swingers.
Yeah.
But a title to it now because swingers does not sound acceptable. So
Yeah.
we're a community. We love each other.
So the swinging thing became now poly.
But what-
is that what happened?
In reality, by definition, yes. But you ask somebody that's poly, no, because they cannot say that's what that is because that's not what they are.
Man, you didn't seem like you know some first hand information. So what's the difference then? So you poly, you sharing couples or whatever, but you're not swinging.
No, that's one section of it. Oh, that's just one section of a poly relationship.
Okay.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But then there's like I said, there's the
Oh,
type
yeah,
where the
there's-
woman has the multiple husbands
Okay.
and where the man has the multiple wives.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is definitely it's almost like a new trend going on, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Because a lot of celebrities are doing it, right? And I mean, when celebrities do shit,
I won't even say a lot of celebrities a lot of celebrities are claiming the title, and I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing out here today. So what I feel like a lot of people are doing is trying to justify why they want to have multiple partners instead of just saying, I want to F with a bunch of y'all, or instead of saying, I'm a player. And even that word, I have friends that I speak to this about, and I'm like, okay, you're a player. And they're, no, I'm not. I'm poly. Listen, the word player, because we've used that in a negative way for so long, seems bad. Look up the definition of player. Look up the definition of poly. So I'll give an example of a personal friend I have of mine. He has 4 girls that he's dating, 4 different states.
Damn.
It's not that hard.
my man,
I know
my
it's
man
not
paying
that
a lot of
hard.
gas
I'm
mileage.
just saying.
You're in the group, so you're the group that we all in.
he paying
you
a lot of
it ain't
gas
hard.
mileage.
But so he has 4 different girls that he's dating in 4 different places. He's honest with all 4 of them. I deal with her, but I also deal with her, and her. It's being a player. You're an honest player.
Right, but isn't that not that? But that's not poly. I thought usually
No.
y'all all like
He says
y'all
it's
all
poly.
deal with it.
He says it's poly. And I'll even say I agree that's a type of poly, but
is that though? Just because you got 4 different jumps, that
Listen,
don't mean.
to his
I thought y'all
words,
all got to
and-
be
and
together.
To most people, no, that part I don't think either, because I have one homeboy who's, I would say I respect his movement of poly more.
Has
so
he hit them all at the same time?
All 4? That's a
That's
lot.
poly.
That's a lot of work.
I mean, that's an orgy, but, you know.
Don't say it's an orgy.
Oh, you can't say that
it's
either?
poly because that's bad.
Oh, so they got words you can't use.
Well, isn't poly when you have like you can have all of the women under one roof?
That's right.
So
And
not
or-
necessarily
and
hitting
that's
them all
my
at the
thing.
same
That's my
time.
thing.
Well, here's one thing I saw, and this is one of the modes. Let me see if I can.
They
find
all
it.
know who
My
each
man-
other is.
Hey yo, my
Here-
man Reptile King got notes.
Because here's one of the things I wanted to prove. Like I said, when I talked to my homeboy who really is about that poly life for real, and he said something, and I didn't put it in him. I'm talking to him, and he said something like, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So we've probably all saw this meme. You seen that one?
Yeah, man,
All
you
right.
gotta share that with me.
I'll
so
share
we
it.
can put
So
on the screen,
it's
man.
the one with the guy talking to 2 women,
Yeah.
and he says, "So how we supposed to make this work?" And then the 2 women say, "No jealousy, no competition, and working together as a team." And then they all end up together.
Ain't nothing like
So-
teammates.
So the one thing that most of these people are missing,
Teamwork make the dream work, right?
Exactly.
the one thing
That's
that
how
most
I
of
was
these
raised.
people are missing, and he'll still never admit, even if he watches this, he'll never admit it. But I'm saying, like, yo, you're a player, you're an honest player, but you're still a player.
Right.
Yeah.
You have these 4 different women in different, you're not a team.
Exactly.
Just because they know
That's what
about
I'm
each
saying.
other and they say they're okay with each other, it doesn't make them
They
a
know
team.
their names. They got their phone numbers.
Right.
That part, they know each other's names. Social media, they know how to get in touch with each other.
Have they tasted
Are
each
they
other?
friends? I won't.
Hey, yo,
All 4, I would say no. But no, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because that's a community.
because that's right.
We all drinking
That's-
from the
that's
same
what makes
cup.
the difference.
You feel me?
But here's what I'm going to break it down to.
Just pass the cup down the line and
Why I say it's bullcrap and why it's more of a player than true poly. You're dealing with these four women. The 4 women know that you deal with 4 women. If Christmas is coming and this woman over here in Nebraska, she can't afford to buy gifts for her son,
Yeah.
can you hit these other 3 women and say, "Hey, we need to come together and pull up $1,000"?
I
make
mean,
sure she
if
has
he was a
Christmas?"
real
No,
player, he
but
could,
no,
though. You know what I'm saying?
Even a player,
Play, you
even a
feel
player,
me?
but on some real shit. Even a real
Tabernacle.
player can. But if you're in an actual poly situation, you're all working together.
Yeah.
Stupid,
That
yo.
shouldn't be anything.
That should have been a
because
question.
Even if y'all don't live together, but y'all all care for each other, y'all have a love
Right,
for each other. So you
right.
know what? Well, yeah. Well, I only got 150. I'll give you 150. I got 200.
Yeah.
Instead, if this one over in Las Vegas, her daughter needs school clothes.
So
you're gonna hit these other ones.
So a poly to you is what?
I'm not gonna say what it is to me. Well, no.
Why not?
No, because I go by actual definition. That way, there's no opinions involved. It's not my side of it. So-
Yeah, but I
so
don't
what- so
want.
what's the
I don't
actual
want.
definition?
I don't want what they lied to us about. I want to know what you think a poly is.
you're coming
If
together.
you was going to do a poly, what
All
would that
right,
be?
What I think of poly is one person having multiple partners.
Don't give us the censored.
No,
I want to.
no. Because I'm saying what it be to me. Having multiple partners, everybody being perfectly okay with it, no jealousy, everybody understanding their role, and we're all working together.
You talking about the army?
And
That's
life.
what you talking about.
But
That don't sound like
I guess
poly.
that's supposed to be. No, but
This nigga's definition is not
building
sexy
a-
at all, yo.
He building soldiers.
But no, the problem is what you just said. That's what's funny.
What?
Poly ain't supposed to be sexy. Most,
okay, talk to him.
It's an
Okay.
actual relationship. For example, you should be able to be in a poly relationship without sex. But it's about sex. That's what makes. That's what I'm saying. People be phony, man. People just want to sleep with multiple partners.
Okay.
People-
So if I
my
got
man
4
dropped
girls,
bombs on 'em.
I may have 4 girls at the house,
We-
and
we
one
are-
of them
and
I
we-
don't even hit.
No,
Right.
no. Here's what I can say.
One of 'em you don't hit.
We'll say for perfect example, and I know this wouldn't happen, but just say, if I'm a great Christian man who believes I want to save myself until marriage,
Right.
But I have 3 women in this. But we can use the Bible because such and such in the Bible had 3 wives. But as a Christian, I'm not supposed to have sex until I'm married.
Right.
But I'm in a relationship with 3 women. I'm not sleeping with none of y'all. But I love you, you and you You love her, her and me. We all love each other. Mm-hmm. But it's so much about sex now. That's what people don't want to admit. I'm not going to say people. I'm not going to say people's names. But that's the thing. People start with this whole poly thing. Ain't none of these women benefited nothing but some good dick and you flying the ass out to see you.
Well,
if we keep it real.
Well, some good D and also, vagina.
I'm just speaking.
And some butt cheeks.
Yeah, all that. But good hit up.
I done seen some fat joints.
Ain't nobody benefiting, but they're getting a nice conversation from you. They're getting they get to feel important because you tell them they're beautiful, this, that, and the third. You ain't paying all three of these women bills.
Right.
Because that's one of the main things. And so I say this to people all the time. I don't think poly's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think poly is what's great for some people.
Yo, it's funny
because so many people sit here and use that instead of just saying, "Yo, I'm a player I'm a man with a
team.
I'm a man with a high.
But that's how it is. You gotta start in 5.
I'm a man with a high appetite for sex.
Instead of saying that, they rather just say they poly.
Because what are these women getting from you? Or what is this woman getting from these other two women?
Yeah, a true poly relationship. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. The TV show Sister Wives.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
They all live in the same community. They all help each other out. Like you said, it ain't a question that this kid needs this or this kid needs that.
Because we all love each other.
And I've watched it a couple times, just flipping through channels, and I've never heard anything about sex. Like how you said, it's all been about taking care of the family.
Right.
Poly has become such a popular term on social media now. Mm-hmm. It's literally just
clapping cheeks.
It's literally just
that's all it is.
A non-disrespectful way to say I'm fucking with all of y'all, and all of y'all know about it.
Yeah, and also
nobody wants to feel like a dummy and say, "Well, yeah, girl, that's my boyfriend, but he got 2 other girlfriends too. Bitch, you dumb." But no, we're poly.
Of course, yeah.
And nobody's gonna question that. But at the end of the day, bitch, you dumb. What are you getting out of this?
Right, and also
you giving your pussy up to a man that's fucking two other chicks.
To get into that too, people don't realize that that's also the people who are setting those relationships up for the sex part, not just for actual community, for what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're predators and they're preying on you. They pick and choose the certain type of women that will agree with that.
Can I say this? Can I say this? And I love the people in my life that I know. I'll say that. So I don't want to attack anybody.
How long you been a lawyer? You be prefacing everything. Just say what you gotta say.
I don't want to offend anybody, but here's what I will say.
It's okay. It ain't you're not intentionally doing it.
All right, so here's what I'll say. And again, it's funny you say that because I did not coerce him to say this. We had this talk yesterday.
Most definitely.
I did not coerce him to say this. Me and this man don't ever talk besides when we're here.
Right.
So, what has me so passionate about this subject in itself, I have a friend who says he's poly. My thing is, bruh, I know you. I know exactly what you've gone through to make you now want to be poly. We'll just say coincidentally, all three out of the 4 women that are in your poly thing, I know them. I knew them before you knew them. They are my friends. Here's the thing. I'm gonna break it down to you. You just said they choose certain ones, they're predators.
Yeah.
One of them just got out of a relationship with a guy. I mean, she was madly in love. It was long distance relationship. She used to post her and this guy all the time. I never thought I would find true love, and definitely never thought I would find true love on social media. For a year, she's with this man in love. She ends up finding out he cheated in the worst way. Out of town relationship popped up at his place of residence to surprise him because they're boyfriend girlfriend. What you should be able to do now?
So she basically got heartbroken.
Yeah. So when you're in I tell people all the time when you're in an actual relationship, when you're in an actual
like that she got heartbroken. Okay.
When you're in an actual relationship,
she poly now.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay to pop up on your mate in an actual relationship. She popped up. Just so happens when she pops up, it's another woman in his apartment. She's heartbroken now.
Right.
That's chick number
First
1.
one heartbroken.
That's chick number 1.
Ain't nothing like a victim.
Chick number 2. She's in another state. Just had a baby. Terrible verbally and emotionally abusive relationship with the baby daddy. Go through a terrible breakup.
I like this. Talk to me.
Go ahead. She said, "Talk to me." Go ahead.
You're a predator. You know. The heartbroken ones. Yes. I mean, so the second one, heartbroken, crying.
So first one heartbroken, second one heartbroken too.
Second one.
All right.
Third one, verbally, physical marriage with a husband, breaks up, even on social media talking about this shit.
Damn.
Oh, so she went through a divorce.
These are 3 women that are going through the worst type of heartbreaks.
All they need is
Now
one
they all
solid
about.
man. They just need one man.
This is who he picked.
Of course.
Hold
of
up,
course.
no.
No,
You looking at it wrong,
No,
yo.
hold on, because
They needed one real
Polly is
nigga.
saving these women, man.
Yeah, they needed one
Polly for the
real nigga.
win.
Listen.
What's wrong with y'all?
See?
Polly for the win,
But you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
Exactly
exactly what you're saying.
Here's my thing. Not even go as far as saying this. I wish all my friends, I
Hey, yo,
wish everybody, I
Polly
wish everybody
saving
the best.
lives, yo.
I told this man from the jump, like, bro, like, these women don't really want that though.
Right.
Oh, but here's what he say. No, I talked to them. They all okay with it.
Nope.
They don't want. So we're gonna fast forward about a year. From the jump, the one of them with the boyfriend who she caught in his room.
Right.
I'm okay with you talking to other ones, but I don't want to know about them.
So that's not Polly
After
then,
about
right?
6 to 9 months, she ain't okay with it. Keep in mind, I told nigga, we talk about everything. You come in our group chat talking about how this one is upset that you still had these other 2. Here's what I told her from the jump. These are all women that are damaged.
Right.
So might not want to admit it, but what's the word? Their standards have been lowered.
Is he a good dude?
They're vulnerable.
And that's what I'm about to say too. He's a good guy. He's gonna make you feel special. He's a sweet guy, so he's a good guy. I'll never say he's a bad guy. So
Hey, yo, this man sound like a superhero.
Yeah,
and you on
bro.
here bashing him.
No, but
You feel what I'm saying?
Hold on, hear me out though. So here's my thing though. So what I said to him was, these women, and it happened. These women saying they're okay with it right now, but secretly what they're wishing is, I'm gonna stick it out because you're gonna choose me.
Choose you at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta wait them out sometimes.
And it happened.
You gotta hold on until
It
people
happened
fall
with one,
off.
even though he told me no, because I told him it happened with one, then it happened with another one. Now,
No.
So but my thing is, I was right, bro. This isn't a real pot, but he ain't gonna never admit it.
Yeah,
Most
and it
definitely.
would never be a real relationship either because me getting older, I've just out here just talking to different women or if you're in a single life, when a woman is damaged when she's
Most
telling
definitely.
you stuff. And I'm telling you, like
Most definitely
maybe 15 years ago, I was just like, oh, cool. I already know the nice things to say, and I'm not a bad guy. But I know that's what she wants to hear.
That's what you want to hear.
And I know that she's gonna give it up because she's in a vulnerable state.
I even think some people might
that's
lie to
what
themselves
happens.
because even before that, dude had went through something where
You just don't buy hoes.
he really got hurt by
You rent 'em.
somebody that he really wanted. That's the thing why I said, like, bro,
Hey, but-
I know you wanted to really be
So-
with this one woman. She hurt you.
So
So
you
even
saying-
him, he let his. It's like a wall to itself. I don't want to be hurt anymore, so I'm just gonna have multiple people. That
So
way,
it's a
that way,
bunch of it's a
I don't have to.
traumatized
Right.
relationship.
So what you're saying is you think because that's what I was gonna ask too. Is like, why do you think this has become such a such a big trend, such a high craze? It's almost like people are
I'ma tell you
replacing
why.
this
I'ma tell you why.
to be normalized
I'm gonna
these
tell
days,
you why.
right?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I almost ended up in this, and this is why I can speak on this, and why I can understand how these women that are in this type of situation like that, how they feel. In this day and age, for one, relationships and finding and loving somebody and wanting to be loved and just wanting to be with who you want, it's so rare to really find somebody that you want that wants you back the same way.
Right.
My last actual real relationship, I was so in love. Like, this woman was the woman of my dreams. We had it, but it's funny because she was in some ways the best relationship I ever had. Meaning, look, this woman, she would pay for my haircuts ahead of time. Like, she asked what my barber's cash app was. She would cash app me from up. Sometimes she had a key to my house. Sometimes I come home from work, there's food in the fridge, and I get a text message, hey, I cooked you dinner, stuff like that. Sometimes I come home, there's $30 on my pillow. I just thought she might want some dinner. Sometimes it's, hey, come over here tonight, I got your lunch packed for tomorrow. I've never had no woman do things like that for me.
Treated you better than you ever been treated, huh?
At the same time, hurt me worse than I've ever hurt before. Even so, it was. She
man, you
did.
gotta take the good with the
some
bad.
terrible things when I was willing to do. But it got to the point where it was like, all right, I caught her cheating so many times. I genuinely meant this because I wanted her in my life so bad. I just wanted to be loved. I said, if you want to have 2 boyfriends, just tell me that. I'm perfectly.
Was she cooking for him too?
This nigga.
So, but
hold on.
I care.
He asked the question.
He said,
He asked the question. You want me to tell you
Yeah.
the answer? Depending on which nigga she cheated on with, we talking about, I could say this. One time I did pull up on her. And there was a nigga sitting in her living room. I saw it through the door.
Right.
Through the door.
Yeah.
Wintertime. Because that's how I know she was fucking him. So when I looked through the door has
This
the window,
nigga said, "I
the
know."
door has the window on it, almost like this door. So you can see
Yeah.
through the door. It's January, so it's winter.
Yeah.
It's a nigga sitting in her living room.
With a plate.
Hold on, not yet. Not yet. Hold on.
This
And-
evil
and
bitch.
some hooping shorts. So
said with a
first
plate.
of all,
I'm crying.
in January in some hooping shorts.
This ain't right.
You ain't drive here in no
Right.
hooping shorts. You done took your clothes off because it's January. You got hooping shorts on, and he got one of them little fold out wooden tables in front of him. So she about to bring.
hold on, my man.
Damn, man.
Hey, yo, my man had the
I'm
tray.
shedding a tear,
My
yo.
man had the tray.
This shit
He had
hurt,
the- he had the tray.
yo. She a cheating evil
She
woman.
ain't just give up the coochie.
She gave up
gave
the
a
recipes.
So as I'm sitting there texting, right? My text getting ignored.
She's sick, bro.
She's busy.
Then I see her walk through with a thong
She
on.
for the streets.
I see her
She
walk
walked through with the yams out.
thong on.
I would have broke the door.
Hold on, yo. And she
She's
put
sick.
hold on. What made it work is that she put the plate down on the tray.
Hey, yo, my
All
man
you
was
can
sick.
see was the steam coming from the plate. She's terrible.
So
She's
listen,
an evil woman. I'm sorry, bro. I'm
but
not
no,
laughing at
I
your
can laugh
face.
about it now,
But
but
she's a
I learned
she's a bastard.
But listen, that's what really got me.
He said, "Oh, you can see
Made
what's
this man
steam."
a plate. And I never thought about it at this point. She gave her more than just a case. She
That's
gave
what
up
I'm
the
saying,
plate
bro.
too.
That's a cheater.
she gave
Yeah,
Because I was going to say,
There's a
if
big difference, though.
if
He's
she
right.
just had
Uplifting
sex
is right
with him,
on
that's,
that.
and she doing all of that for
But
you.
she made him a plate too.
But she makes
She
that
made him a
man
plate
some
too.
food.
She made him a plate
It's
too.
evil.
So
That's
real though.
That's terrible,
That's
yo.
real.
I'm sorry that you went through that,
That
yo.
shit, that shit is terrible, yo.
But hold on, Bob. But go ahead and say that because I was so in love, and I'm like, you know what? If you want to have 2 boyfriends, and I said I'm perfectly fine with having 2 boyfriends.
Right,
That doesn't mean I'm gonna go out here and date other people. I'm still gonna be just for you.
right.
But I lowered my standards without even noticing, just because I wanted to be loved by somebody that I loved.
Right.
So that's what I feel like. That's what happens.
And that's what I was gonna get at. Like, do you think a lot of these the reason why it's so trending that a lot of these poly situations are people just lowering their standards just to have somebody in their life?
But they will not
You
admit
feel
that
me?
they're lowering it because
Ex-
again,
they
that
will-
is
they
a
will-
negative thing to say. Oh, because people ain't worried. I'm not lowering my standards. You are lowering
this
your
is what they're
standards.
doing. Like, cause they rather be in a fake relationship than be by themselves.
Well, that's-
a
that's
lot of
not-
people are really just scared of
Be
themselves,
by itself. Yup.
Right. Well, yeah, you're right.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, yo, that's not the case.
Talk.
The inventory out here is not the same.
Nah.
the inventory ain't the same.
No.
So what you need several boxes because the box ain't the same these days?
No.
What you
No,
saying?
I just
What you saying?
from the women that I know that be out here dating, a lot of dudes be homeless. They stay with their mom, and
Okay.
it's like, oh shit, it's a real man right here that I know is good to me. And he's good enough for other women. So they just say, well, shit, I might as well just meet the other women.
Yeah.
And be with him. I think that's why it's so trendy now because it also makes sense, bro.
Well, I think and I agree. It's a combination of both things. Because here's what I'll tell you why. It's easier to accept that than to say, you know what? Because realistically, you can accept that or know for a fact there are other good men out here who would just be for me. But that's harder to find.
But I think
that's hard. That's
but
hard
I
to
think
find.
what Uplifting is saying that the men that women can choose from is trash these days.
Most
so
of
if
them,
you
yeah.
find
If we're
so
honest, most of them,
so
yeah.
if you find a man that got the money and he got
Ain't
the
even
wood,
gotta be money, but
you
but
willing
make
to
them-
share
You
'em.
make them feel good.
And
but,
make them feel-
but the
Al
thing
just
is,
made
women
a
are
good
willing to
point.
share.
Al
Like if
just-
they can find a great
How
man,
many
right?
men also out here working and making you come?
Exactly.
That's true too.
That's a like.
That's true. No, but
that-
No,
that's-
it's real. It's real selfish out
that's
here.
true, too.
No,
I'm just here.
because women will find a nigga that got the bag and then just cheat on him. Real talk. So,
I
so
think the poly's for people that are scared to be alone. So they're willing to, like you said, they don't want to say it, lower their standards to share. I mean, because, like you said, there are good men and women out there, but to find that person, as you know, everyone wants to look for, is a lot harder. But if you can say, "Hey, Al, I'm a good dude. I make money. I'm gonna provide you with a home, but also I'm gonna have another wife." Are you okay with that?
But that's one of the main things that most of them aren't doing now.
I know, that's
they're
why I
not
say
providing anything.
Some people would just take, like, I've been in relationships where it's just like, okay, we together, but we not together, and the other person's cool with it because they just want to feel hugged sometimes at night or somebody to talk to, but they're still dealing with their own stuff. They haven't, gotten through whatever past shit that has gotten them. They just don't want to be alone or lonely, because that's what nobody wants to be. But sometimes that's the best way to be, to work on yourself, because if what you put out into this world is what you're gonna get back. So if you're walking around broken, guess what you're gonna attract?
Broken people.
Or
and again,
you're gonna
like
attract.
I never talk to this man about this, but that's exactly. Now go back to the main situation. I'm talking about this man. Like I said, when I told bro, I know you.
But what
just
about
got your heart broke?
What about the poly relationships that actually work? Because no relation. The reason we be talking, the only reason I hate that the way that we're talking about this is because we're talking as if every relationship is perfect.
Oh no. Because hold on.
True.
So all polys may not be perfect for everybody involved.
But one thing I said a few minutes ago, I said this. I don't think poly is bad at all. What I don't like
If
is
you do it the correct way.
What I don't like is people perverting it like they pervert so many other things to fit into what they want to say is something when that's not what you really are. I think that poly is what's right and what's perfect for some people.
Yes. But I got
you have some people who I'm a man who have 2 wives and I could provide for both, and we live in a house together. You have 2 of my kids, you have 1 of my kids, and they're doing it I don't want to say the right way, because who am I to say what's right or wrong, but they're doing it the way that it was supposed to be.
The way that works, though. And the only reason I'm cutting you off is because Will said broken people getting with broken people, and you talking about the people that you know. Why not get with somebody who's also working on themselves as well?
No, that's fine.
Because how are broken people supposed to get fixed?
Hold on, listen. And I say it all the time, and I'm okay with
But
that.
can another broken person heal the other broken person?
Yes.
Does that
You're
work?
supposed to heal yourself. That's the problem.
But that's what we're saying. That's not what's happening. Instead of people taking the time to heal themselves, to stay out of a relationship, to build themselves
up. But what if you want a relationship?
But they just jam into
broken people just supposed to be alone?
I agree with you.
That's just funny to me.
They're not. I don't agree with you.
That's stupid.
I'm
people.
I'm going to tell you
We're
why.
supposed to be connected.
Okay.
I'll use myself for example, and I'm not perfect, but I'm a person that's still working on myself. Especially last year, I was broken. If I meet a woman right now who I love everything about her, but she's going through some shit themselves, I'm not somebody I don't like hurting people's feelings. Do I do it sometimes by accident? Yes. But I can meet a chick, sleep with her one time, but realize that I might end up hurting her, I'll back up. But back to on the subject at hand, to say what you're saying, how broke, I believe what you said, it's nothing wrong with broke people being with broken people. Because here's my thing. If I actually meet a woman today that I care about a lot and she's broken, and I know I'm still working on myself, I care enough about her. Listen, I'm going through my stuff. You're going through your stuff. Have you tried counseling? Because you know what? I'm seeing a therapist. How about you see a therapist working? Because I really want to be with you. It's because nobody's perfect. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have things I'm working on.
Yeah.
But you really want to be, we could be a great thing. You have things, you go to your therapist, I go to my therapist. Without attacking them, making them feel attacked, these are things that you got to work on. Because these are things I know I got to work on.
I agree with what you're saying. When I said I'm painting everybody with a broad stroke, because what you just said, not everyone is willing to admit or communicate.
They're not doing that. So that's what I said. I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said. But just to flat out say that because we're all broken, we shouldn't deal with each other, I'm not agreeing with that.
Yeah.
So broken people do attract broken people. That's cool. But if I'm a broken person and I'm just like, you know what, I don't really want to focus on fixing myself right now, but I see these 4 broken women also, I'm going to pray on them. As you said, I'm going to pray on them because they're broken also. And that's wrong. Right? At the end of the day, it's black and white. Right and wrong. That's wrong.
Of course.
Like,
And a lot of people get
you
looped
may
up
make them
into that.
feel good, but that's not fixing them. Because look, if once you're done with them, whether you're playing with them for 6 months, a year, 2 years, they're still effed up.
Nah, everything I let go flourish.
So any of y'all ever been in
might as
an
well call
open
me-
relationship or anything like that though?
What do you mean?
Knowingly, no.
Yeah.
No,
You said knowingly?
knowingly, no.
Right.
You said, say that again?
An open relationship. We ever did that?
I'm too selfish for that. I don't
think
think
most men
I don't
are,
think
right?
anything's wrong with it. It's not for me because once I say I'm with somebody, I want to give somebody my all. Flat
Yeah,
out.
I wouldn't say that I'm against it or
Openly dating, I've done.
I've never do it.
Of course, we all do that.
I'd
right?
never do it because I already know a relationship is already taxing on your body and soul, your mind, and that's effort you do want to put in. I don't have the energy to put in for multiple people.
Right.
I mean, I got myself. I put myself first before everything else.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good with that shit.
That's one thing I realized being our age is that goddamn it, relationships can be draining.
well,
You
no,
feel me?
it all depends on.
I'm saying if you have several of them.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, see that you just
'Cause-
setting yourself up. For
Look, right,
failure.
because one relationship is hard. It's hard work. You know what I mean? So yeah, like you're exactly right. Once you try to carry it with several different relationships with several different peoples, several different attitudes.
You know one thing I will say about this
several
poly thing,
hormone
though?
levels. Shit,
And I ain't
that
want to
could
forget.
drain.
I ain't want to forget to say this though. One thing, I feel like the people who are in the poly community though, who are really about their life, should be just as outraged or not more than the people who are just using the term to cover up how they're actually living. You know, 'cause,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure they are.
The LG, I don't think.
No, they
are
won't
yet.
speak out against it because, like you about to
they
say,
don't.
the
Because
alphabet community doesn't.
I think they're more so happy that more people are claiming.
Of course. Oh,
anything.
okay.
They don't. The alphabet community does that. You know, you're not going to sit here and fake being gay or fake being this. If they find out, they're going to call you out on it because that's their real way of life. You're not going to capitalize off
yeah,
of
you're
what
right.
they're doing, and I think that's wrong. That's what I think. Like the people who are really about that poly life should sit there and be outraged and say like, no, like, and even like I say, going back to saying, it's okay if you're a player. That doesn't mean you're manipulating anybody. You're being honest about the multiple people you're dealing with. But it comes down to the core of poly. If we aren't all in love with each other, and if we aren't all building our thing up, even if we aren't all physically together, but you know her, she can call her, and again, back to what I was saying, if I need something, if I'm late on my rent, we all together, right?
Right.
It was so-
Most definitely, man. But before we get into the last topic, man, what's going on with the bro group, man? Reptile King.
It's a lot, man. It's probably a couple hundred more members than before. We're at 8,300 now.
Okay.
Planning on activities for next year. Another meet and greet. We're looking probably towards Texas. But besides that, I'm trying to do a lot of traveling next year to try to meet different members of different states. Atlanta's on my list. Texas is on my list. The Carolinas are on my list. The Midwest is on my list. I might try to make it down to the West Coast next year because it's a lot of people I want to meet. A lot of people want to meet me. But we're doing great things. We're flourishing, man. Like no complaints. Things are just getting bigger and better. More love. More people are meeting, building new friendships, lifelong relationships. I mean, it's people who I feel like one of the best things from the bro group has been people meeting people who have interests like them, but they've made lifelong relationships. They've made some best friends in a place that they would have never met each other otherwise. So,
definitely, man.
so when I see that,
that's why you the Godfather,
Right,
yo.
no, but
you created that space for them, man.
No, but for real, like, so when I see that, even if I don't comment or like every pitch, like that warms my heart. When I'm like, yo, like, okay, this person and that person, they hang out every weekend. This person and that person, or I see a group of 10 people in this state or this city all linking up. They all met in my group, and they are some lifelong friends now.
Right.
Especially being black, like in Reptiles, I knew one black person. Shout out to Matthew Oakley, my whole life that liked Reptiles like me. now I have 8,000 something people that I know worldwide.
And he one of the founders of the group, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
basically one of the first members, right?
Yeah, he was one. Yeah, he was one of the first members.
No doubt.
But it's like now
For all y'all that don't know, man, we talking about the Black Reptile Owner Group, the Bro Group.
Okay.
On Facebook, right?
Yeah, you can find us
y'all
on Facebook.
on everything, right?
We on everything now. You can find us on Facebook, Black Reptile Owners. You can find us on Instagram, Black Reptile Owners Bro, BRO. We are on TikTok now. We don't have that many videos posted, but we're on everything.
Most
Except for
definitely.
Twitter.
Good.
Man,
Hell yeah.
man, how them fine ass reptile women doing, man? Because you got some fine women in the Bro Group.
First of all, I mean,
You ever check it out? Y'all check it out?
No, I haven't.
y'all should join. I'll add
I
y'all.
thought we had to be sent a request.
I can send y'all. Well, you can send a request to join.
He the admin right here.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah,
but,
you got requested join.
But I mean, I can't really comment on the fine women. I mean, everybody has their own opinion on what they consider as beautiful or fine. I mean, there are many women in the group.
They all
that,
shape, sizes, and colors,
that
baby.
some would consider to be fine.
Some nice Nubian queens with,
I mean,
with,
you've seen
with
them.
reptile
I mean,
necklaces.
if that's your opinion, well, I won't say. So we're about to drop a video the next 48 hours. Every few months, probably 2 or 3 times a year, we do drop. It's kind of like a promo video. I won't really say it's for the group, but it's just pretty much to showcase the world that there are beautiful black people, that there are black people that own and love reptiles. Sometimes the videos are our guys, sometimes the videos are our women, sometimes a mix of both. But I will admit that the women's videos normally go more viral.
Damn right, 'cause they bad.
Because it's kind of a competition. Like when the women drop a video, then the guys like, okay, we got to drop our video. We do numbers, but the women's videos, they do big numbers. So y'all look out for that video, and so y'all can see apparently these fine women that he are talking about. I don't see them that way.
Bro,
but,
ain't nothing like a fine woman handling a snake. You know what I mean?
Here, lizard.
What you
Great
know about
video.
that? But you know anything about it?
Hell yeah. Fine woman handling snakes. Why you think I'm in the group?
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't own no reptiles.
I don't know.
But
I know about fine women that handle reptiles.
Thought maybe
You
you
feel
just
me?
like snakes.
Hey.
Listen, see?
No comment. No
Y'all
comment.
always trying to come at me every week. I got to deal with this shit again. Don't be throwing words in my mouth. I never said I like handling snakes. I said I like the fine women in the group that know they way around a snake. I love it.
Well, I mean,
I'm there for the whatever
I'm
Wednesdays.
just saying, you
Whatever
like
Wednesdays
the
is that.
poly relationship. You might have to help that woman handle some snakes.
Nah, see? Now you on some, now you definitely on some other
Because
shit.
some poly is one woman and multiple men.
Right.
So, I mean,
Y'all teamwork, make it dream
make the
work.
dream work.
This motherfucker here. Man, right. He's definitely sick. Now I'm moving on, goddamn it.
Moving on.
Now I'm moving on, yo, because this nigga getting on my damn nerves.
But no, I will say everybody look up our Facebook group. Even if you don't own a reptile, if you have a love for reptiles, if you have children that likes reptiles, wants to get into it, join the group. It's Black Reptile Owners on Facebook. We would love to have you. It's a lot you can learn. Even if you just want to look at them and learn about them, you don't have to own one. Join the group.
Real shit.
Yeah.
But here's another topic, man, brought to you by Reptile King, because you said it's kind of his close to home, and it's something else that was in the news probably a couple weeks ago for real. Quando Rondo, my man's the man who's basically allegedly killed King Von, right?
No, his homeboy did.
Well, it's
not
his
allegedly.
team,
It happened.
His team.
It's on video. His homeboy did it.
right? His team killed King Von, and of course, we all know King Von, Dirt, they music. They basically been tearing apart Quando's team, right? You know what I'm saying? They spinning blocks on their ass. right?
No. Quando Rondo and them team is up 1-0.
They up 1-0. I don't know, yo. I don't know. It's undercover things going on in the streets.
Okay.
You feel me?
All right.
You don't hear about it. You don't hear about everything because everybody ain't famous.
That's true.
And that's one thing That's one thing you gotta remember
That
too,
part
yo.
is true, yeah. We
Like
only hear about the famous
we
people.
only hear about the rappers. Like, but like if I was a rapper, y'all would still be in my entourage and shit, because shit happens to the entourage.
Right,
but anyway, it's beef going down. There's a lot of violence happening surrounding it. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is after all these altercations and different things going here and there, Quando Rondo basically said he don't want to bang no more. Right? And he denounced the
being
flag.
a crip. Being a crip.
Right. He denounced the flag. Now, we all know gang life, blood in, blood out. You understand? I mean, that's natural, right?
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But anybody that denounces this shit, especially if you get into this life, it's a lifestyle. You understand? It's not like poly. you can't be a gangster one day and then not be a gangster the next day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And say I don't want to be a gangster no more. But Quando Rondo basically is doing this.
He's a smart man.
Yep.
Smart man,
He's
right?
a smart man.
Yeah, smart man. Unfortunately, whatever situation he was raised in or brought up in, he was into that, or it felt like it was something that was glorious, and which is definitely not for any of the young men listening or women. He wants to get rid of it because he knows if he really is about his career as being a artist, I won't say rapper, then you can't have that around. You can't go to an executive meeting and then bring a bunch of niggas with you that's got guns or whatever the hell, and if they don't like how the meeting goes, instead of negotiating how we would do on pen and paper, they start shooting people, Suge Knighting people. I mean, honestly, that stops him from going further to where he wants
far
to
as
be.
he can go, yep.
Because you're not gonna because we all know rappers, they appear on like Nickelodeon or something. You can't show up to Nickelodeon if you still, rocking flags.
real talk.
And show up with like a bunch of
That's real.
what they would
Not
say
thinking
is
about- I
sticks.
And
never
a
thought
lot
about
of
that, but-
artists have talked about this before about being in a certain type of life, ruining opportunities for him. Fat Joe even said that before when he was on I'm Athlete one time, and he was like, basically they said Terror Squad was a huge gang. You know what I mean? He had 100 people around him at all times, and Fat Joe said he had to let that go because his squad was ruining business deals for him
course,
because
yeah.
people were scared of them. I mean, their name is Terror Squad, right? And even 50 Cent said the same thing, and we all know 50 now. I mean, we talked about him earlier, like how he done got definitely rich and powerful, and then the broke off in the different parts of the media
it
right
depends
now.
on what your
but he
goal
even
is,
said,
man.
but he even said that him being 50 Cent and the type of people that he kept around was ruining a lot of business deals for him.
Of course.
Right? So Quando Rondo is feeling the same way about that. But he's kind of one of the only, because you don't hear about people denouncing the flag a lot. Like, come on, man.
Well,
Snoop,
yeah, because
Snoop is one of the biggest Crips out there, and he does family shows. He does all type of shit. But he ain't never denounced the flag.
He not gang banging though.
Right.
So it's the difference between a gang member and gang banging.
Okay.
Snoop ain't gang banging. He ain't gonna pay. Crips ain't gonna call Snoop and say, all right, hey, your name came up. You got to go spin a block on such and such.
Right.
He's not gonna do it.
Right.
He's not gonna do it.
Right. I mean, that's yeah.
Now, I think the difference is with Quando, it's a different time. Just like we said about 50 Cent, son. Everybody this generation wants to go to social media and say something. He went on social media and basically said, I'm not gangbanging no more.
Right.
Instead of just not doing it anymore.
Okay.
That's the difference. But like I said, he's a smart man for doing that. Listen, I'll just say this. In LA, it might be different. In LA, I believe it's different. In most parts, especially gangbanging in the 80s and 90s. They probably actually did love you. It wasn't about necessarily being a Crip or Blood. It was literally the block that you grew up on. So when we hear all these treetop Paru stuff like that, to us it's just a name. That's an actual block that's called that.
Real talk.
So these people love each other. They will ride or die for each other. So when this stuff spreads, you got Bloods and Crips in Baltimore. You claiming a set, and again, a set is the name of a real street. That's just like saying this. Just say if gangs came from Baltimore and we was called the Park Heights Pirates.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
And then I go to Oklahoma
and they got Park Heights
I meet
Pirates?
somebody talking about, yeah, I'm a Park Heights Pirate.
Right.
You ain't never been to Park Heights before.
Right.
What you talking about?
Right.
Like how can you claim this? Yeah, you might be riding in gangbang, but it's funny because that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Every single gang is named after a street, and these people are repping it here, but it's not the same type of love.
Not at all. Because they get on through affiliation. Right?
That's what they get on.
That's
through.
all it is affiliates.
With
You know what I
Quando
mean?
Rondo, I feel like I ain't gonna say I feel like you gotta understand what his whole real backstory was.
Okay.
I mess with your music. So anybody whose music I do start to bang with, I always got it from my own personal site. Have to go and look what you about. What's your background? I'll still like your music, but if you rapping about something that's fake, you ain't been through, okay, I'm gonna know you fake. But I want to really know what you've been through. So,
But did Quando grow up banging though?
So I'm about to say, yes, and his situation is understandable. I remember some posts from Quando a year or two ago, and people were laughing. At first, I'm like, I didn't get that, but I understand and don't understand how he grew up. He had made some post saying something about he'll always put his niggas over a woman. And that's the craziest thing a man could say. It is.
It is.
But
though.
looking at his background, just briefly, dude, parents were on drugs. So he didn't have parents. Raised by his grandmother.
Right.
But being raised by his grandmother, he started getting locked up in like middle school. So not getting locked up and then coming home, he basically did his whole childhood in juvenile facility.
Damn.
So the people that loved him were
the bangers.
juvenile delinquents.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
So you grew up from age 11, 12 years old in the system. You don't have parents. Definitely probably never had a real girlfriend that's going to ride with you at 11, 12 years old.
Right.
So who are the people that you love? The people that you met in there. So to
That
grow,
was his family.
Right, that was his family. So to survive in it, you fighting this, that, and the third, you going to join a little gang or whatever. Not at
most
12,
definitely.
13 years old, not realize what it is.
For people with that kind of lifestyle, of course, it's understandable.
Right, and
I mean,
being-
if you don't have family to get,
and
I
being
mean,
that young,
banging is your family.
not realizing the consequences of what this really mean, you come back to the hood every couple months and you see, okay, this gang member, he the one coming through with all the money and with the jewelry, stuff like that.
Right.
That's who you look up to. So that's more so his story. I mean, so and he's young. So by the time he came out the last time, 17, 18 years old, that's when he did little YouTube songs and blew up. So understanding that, I get why he would much rather put his loyalty and trust into his homeboys than a woman.
Well, into his family.
Into fact, but and it's another thing too. People don't realize it. So once he had a child, he makes songs about these things. That's why I don't get when he had his daughter, he makes songs about that's the one thing that would make him give up his lifestyle. He said these things in music for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But once and that's not saying he wanted to do it, but that was his views on. Okay, now I got this daughter coming, this, that, and the third, and even with him denouncing his flag, that's what he said. Just like anything else, with Kevin Samuels and these people, they take one small little sound bite to make somebody sound like a sucker, this, that, and the third, but not saying the whole thing. The man said, because I have a daughter now, and for my family, I want to leave the gang culture alone because I realize they don't really love me like that, and they're not. People over here are dying, and y'all not riding for me, but y'all want me to still ride for the color.
Right. And that's the thing about it, man. I don't know if it's a difference between these days or old times. You brought up the 80s and 90s banging, right? But these days there is no loyalty in this shit.
It's not.
You understand? Because that's what he's talking about. He fell in love with it or whatever. He ride for his niggas more than a woman because there was a sense of community. It was my man's got my back. It's like in here, Prodigal Brothers. Everybody sitting here on this couch, I know got my back 100.
Yeah, the Prodigal
understand?
Brothers is a gang.
You
And
feel
you
me?
got to get beat out. Nah, that's why we
Whatever
give
you say.
shirts.
But
Once you throw that shirt on,
but real talk.
PB for life.
But
talking about
real talk at the same time, but that's a reality.
Yeah.
I would never have to denounce it because I don't feel like this shit got my back anymore.
Right.
I don't feel like anybody in this room would have me stick my neck out knowing that they not gonna stick their neck out for me. And the thing is, the reason why Quando had to denounce this shit is because he realized that I'm risking my life and these niggas ain't risking shit.
Yeah,
and I'm the money bag.
It's
And-
like that.
and
with,
you made it.
It's like that with
Right.
any
That's the
group.
biggest part.
Any group, whether it's a gang or church or military or police, people forget that like people grow, and like now say you didn't want to come with the Prodigal Brothers, and you explained it to us. You didn't go on social media and sit there and say, "Oh, fuck Chuck and fuck Uplifting." You said, "Hey, look, I don't feel as though I can give my best to it. I want to do other things in my life." People
Yeah.
grow out of shit. Same thing, like we're looking at it so much because it's a gang life, but people leave churches all the time,
Right.
and they're treated the same way. You know, like say like you don't want to be in that church no more because you've grown out of that. You're like, this isn't for me anymore. This isn't
Church
for my
gang?
family.
That's true. I didn't think
Everybody
about
in
it,
that
but
community,
that's
when they
true.
see you, they gonna
real.
tell
That
you
church
you're
treats
going
you.
to hell.
They treat you a certain way.
Just like those gang members.
But if you leave
Same
Prodigal
thing.
Brothers, we gonna beat you out.
It's like anything. Even when
I ain't going nowhere,
even in the
dog.
military,
Don't worry about it,
you know,
yo.
if you want to leave
This
the
shit
military,
for life.
people are like, why are you getting out, man? I thought
Yeah.
you loved it. Oh no,
Right.
I'm getting out. I have a family. I seen what it does to families. You're deployed the whole time. I
Right.
want to leave. So then people look at you different. Oh, you ain't about this.
You ain't
no
stick it out with us. Yeah.
more. You ain't about it no more. We grew up in this together. But yeah, I've grown more.
One of the things
Most
I see, man, like even with looking at Quando, I don't get in debates with people, but I've got into conversations with people on social media who are gang members, and they sit there, well, you don't get the culture, you don't get the life. The furthest thing from the truth. I'm not a gang member, but you're talking about a man, Quando Rondo,
You ain't Reptile Gang?
a young member. They do actually have a
Bro,
little
not
set
a gang?
called Snake Gang, but they got this young man Quando, when after he said that, he was in a truck in LA that got shot up. His homeboy right next to him got killed. I don't know if y'all saw the clip, and saw it on social media. Got killed. So when the truck pulls over, he's screaming, not crying, but he's distraught. Police everywhere. If me and you leave right now, step out this door, and somebody pulls up and they shoot you right, I'm gonna go crazy.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And now he's finally like, I gotta get this up. So these are people on the internet. Again, to us, even if we feel a way about it, it's still almost like watching a movie because it's not all the way reality to us. We see it, we know that actually happened, but we don't feel it.
We don't
So
feel it. Exactly.
this man literally just watched one of his closest. You signed up for that, but you don't have to stay in that.
Shit.
Right.
When I went,
Bro,
through,
it's hard, bro.
When I went
Let me
through-
tell you something, bro. Seeing somebody die right in front of you.
if that don't change you, something wrong with you.
Exactly. And because I know a situation, I got a cousin of mine, he was in that type of life.
Yeah.
You feel me? And something like that happened to him. He seen his man get his head blown off while he was in the passenger seat. My man ain't talked for like 3-4 years. He literally went insane.
I can believe it.
You understand?
But no,
that's what happens to people like that.
But you know what our culture wants you to do? Now I'm gonna keep it real. It's black culture. You know what our black culture wants us to do? No, you supposed to get up and find out who that was and go do the same thing to them. And that's what gonna do. His homeboys gonna want to come back and do this. It's a never-ending cycle, man.
And that brings me to the next point because Will was getting on it, yo. Why the hell is growth looked down upon so much in our community?
Because you start to leave people behind. I think me and Uplifting have talked about it both on our podcast, is that if you want to grow as a person, one of the things that we say, I think we both said it, you got to prepare to lose people. Because all of a
Amen.
sudden, you're doing something that's better for you, not like you're out here like, I'm just going to sit here and shoot up on the corner because that's what I feel I need to do. Like you're actually like, hey, you stop eating certain foods. So when you come to Thanksgiving dinner, you're like, nah, I don't want that ham
right.
or that high salt food, I'm trying to watch. Oh, you different.
Exactly.
Oh, you eating healthy now? You over there eating a salad?
I
It's
agree
like
with
you
that.
get made
I agree
fun
with that.
of.
I agree with that.
But like we mentioned, is gang culture. You even mentioned church culture, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like all those things is in the black culture.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mostly, yeah.
Like when we grow, we change our mind. We're looked at as the enemy now. Like because Quando was, I mean, long story short, gang life is nothing but destruction.
Right.
You gonna die.
Or go to jail. Go to jail.
And you gonna die there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Let's be for real. You don't retire from this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when somebody quit it, like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Something that I joined when I'm 13, 14 years old. Now I'm a 30-year-old man and I realize that it's some shit.
That's my thing, though. Like
I get out of it and everybody still shits on me.
I can see if somebody's like, you know what, I'm getting out of this gang to join this other gang to go against you.
Right.
But if I'm saying I want to be a better person, I'm not saying F you, I'm not saying screw my previous gang. It just ain't for me no more. I want better. If you actually got love for me, be happy for me. Realize that, I did what I had to do to come out of my situation. I'm a better human being.
Yeah.
But and then I'm gonna play devil's advocate to my own opinion, right?
Okay.
Because there's also another point of view of this too. it's like, can you look at him as somebody like basically it's a man not keeping his word? Because as a man, when you sit down, you did the blood in, blood out.
I'ma
You
say
sat
no.
at this
I-
table.
no,
It's
you know-
just like
you know I'ma
being
say
a
no?
gangster and
Because he
then
was
becoming a
boy,
snitch.
He was a boy when he decided to join that. Now he's a man, so he wasn't a man that made that promise.
Why do we know Quando Rondo though?
Well, we know him as an artist. That's how I know him.
An artist that what?
An artist that
I think everybody.
Music.
No, I honestly
no.
he don't really. Most of his music ain't like that.
nah, his music
Not
ain't like
not
that.
just
though.
that,
Well,
but an
I-
artist who
I
is
can't
in the
speak-
game.
Right.
You don't get rich off the set, and then you say, "Oh, I don't want to be with the set no more."
And that's
That
part of it.
is the problem that comes into play when you do grow, is because how'd you get here?
Mm-hmm.
And you got here claiming the flag. Now you denounce the flag publicly
Public.
because you could have did that with the big homie. You could have went and had those discussions. You ain't want to do that. You did that publicly. So now that's what you get. You get public backlash. I think the problem with us too is we act like there's no consequences or sacrifices or pains or ills with growth. Right? Growth is painful.
That's
true.
You know what I'm saying?
And
like that.
uncomfortable.
Growth
Very,
is
very
painful.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it gotta come with something,
right.
right?
Do you think it's gonna be retaliation against Quando for it?
Absolutely.
I don't even know who this little kid is, man. I hope he's all right, though.
Unless he moves.
I'm just
depends.
saying.
Well, it depends on how he wants to move. If he still wants to come off as a thug type of music creator and go certain places like I don't care because I'm still that dude, then possibly yes. But if you want to realize, hey, I made it, I can go ahead and move to Wisconsin or Montana. I don't know. I'm just naming people with game.
I just know people like Jeezy, man.
and make
Jeezy
music.
described always what he used to do. Every time he even raps, he raps about being a snowman when he was the snowman, right? You know, inside, what would he say? Inside something, outside tartar sauce, inside fish sticks.
inside fish sticks, outside tartar
Come on
sauce.
now, we know what the
Damn right.
champagne joint look like. Like that thing white. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
shit.
So it's about actually getting away from the life is what it used to be. It used to be talking about your struggles and what you was doing and how you worked to get away from it. But if your rap is about that, then you going to get retaliation because you can't be talking about the pistol and the poles that you toting and rapping that drill music and not live that drill life.
And that's
just what it
and-
is.
And that's another thing that I wanted to bring up too. It seems like the rap industry now is solely about that. Because if you think about it, like you can't even rap right now without banging.
It actually
Like-
100% is though. Like
Because like you even mentioned it, how did Quando come up? You come up off the set.
Yeah.
Every rapper does it now, unless you J. Cole or Kanye West, those are outliers. But everybody got to bang in order to come up these days. You understand?
A lot of artists.
A
have
lot
to.
of artists have to do it, right? Now is this gonna ruin the industry though?
No,
You feel
because you
me?
got
Absolutely
dudes like
not.
LaRussell.
It's gonna ruin our community. It's not gonna ruin the industry.
No, you got dudes like LaRussell. He from the Bay.
Right.
But yeah, I think he from.
My point
you
is,
got Simba, he from
those
the
are
Bay.
few. Those are few and far between, though.
But
You know how hard it is to name rappers that don't bang.
But the narrative is changing because these guys are getting smarter and knowing that they have life insurance policies on these artists. So that is why they want to come to your inner
that's
city
also
and
why-
let you
why-
wild out
why
and
I
let you
said
be
it's not
great
gonna
because you
change
are a
the
great
industry.
talent, but you're not
It's
gonna last
It's
that
gonna
long.
fuck our
But-
community up, but it's not gonna mess up the industry.
But this is my fear. Because listen to me here. Because right now, one of the biggest beefs out right now, right, is and Quando's part of that too. Is
NBA
Dirk
and
and
Dirk.
NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah.
I mean, we talking about 100 millionaires, right? And these niggas about to kill each other.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's why the Quando.
So if the
stuff
top
out, yeah.
if the top is battling at each other because rap industry is gang culture now, and gang culture is the rap industry, and that's how I feel. That's my personal opinion. Now, if it's like that, then the top gonna constantly be shooting at each other. Like rappers die every day.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Men die
They-
every day.
Men do die every
Men
day.
that rap die every day.
But
That's just my
but
opinion
and
on that.
they're gangsters though.
Yeah, but
Like the gang culture can literally put an end to rap music.
But I get what you're saying. But if I'm looking at it as a record label owner or exec, I want that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because now I can sign you. I got a life insurance policy on you. I know that you ain't gonna last. I still make my money back 10 times over. Now, if I don't have all that, I still have to deal with your antics. You're showing up whenever you want. You're bringing who into the studio. You're bringing this. My studio gets shut down because of illegal activity going on. Then that's the hassle.
Right.
So, but now if I know that, hey, it ain't gonna last past 2 years.
Right.
I'm about to make 10 times more money over him.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
why
they want that.
Right.
I mean,
you bog them down in the studio, get them to record 350 tracks, and let them die.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
that's the name of the
I
game.
understand that. So after you die, though, then we're gonna sign your homeboy because your homeboy gonna tell his side of the story how he gonna get the ops back. That's some more
content.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people don't know that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like when people see like different groups in America move or don't move or grow or get more attention, you're just being used. Like nobody really cares about you. They go to the inner city to find talent. They're going there to find a quick buck because they know that more than likely I can come to you, Al, like, hey, all you have is influence is your grandma and the niggas on the street. You're gonna take this 50,000, but you're worth $5 million.
Right. Exactly. Most
Because
definitely.
you forget business ain't about a moral code.
Yeah.
It's only a moral code when when Black Lives Matter happened. Every company put out something. Oh, we support black. I couldn't even log in to sign in the Call of Duty without reading it. I'm like, hold on. Y'all care about niggas? Man, I'm just trying to play the game.
Right.
That's the only time they show a moral code. Other than that, it's about money.
Always.
You can't run a business having a moral code. So that's what we really got to watch out. And the funny thing is, all the other entertainers know this is happening, and they allow it.
They definitely allow it. But my point is this. I know because I like drill music. You know what I mean? This is what I listen to. But the reason why I say it could put an end to it is because, like you said, rappers aren't lasting long. Like, Quando about to be done. I mean, these rappers only get a couple years because I like Pooh Shiesty. They get locked up. You know what I mean? Soon as they get big, they die. They get locked up. Kodak got locked up for 3 years. You understand?
The industry will change though.
It's just going.
So rappers will always be around, man. We move the needle.
Okay.
Everything has hip hop as a part of it.
Yeah.
Everything. We're everywhere.
Oh yeah. I mean.
Yeah, it's a
definitely
global
pop music
commodity,
now.
bro.
Right.
So
it's definitely pop music.
So I
now.
don't see it changing at all.
Okay.
I won't say I won't see it changing. I don't see it going away. Yeah.
Right.
Most definitely.
There's too much money to be lost.
Most definitely, man. Wish Quando the best, man. Wish everybody the best, man. You got any shout outs or anything? We better get up out of here, Reptile King.
No, forget everybody. But no. No, I don't know. It's probably too many. But shout out to my whole bro group. Shout out to my baby mamas, both of them.
Most definitely.
That's about it. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You got some good news? What you got?
I ain't got no news.
No news?
I got no news.
Okay.
I got no news. Nah.
I'm just checking, man.
I ain't got no news today.
I'm just checking, man. Will, we about to get out of here, man. What's up? Say peace.
Peace be unto you.
All right, man. Hey, man.
Hey, hold on, man. You know when they say that's somebody's daughter? They be like, man, that's somebody's daughter. I be like, damn, that's my daughter, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't ever fuck with y'all. They be like, man, that's somebody's daughter. It's like, that's my goddamn
Maybe
daughter,
only girl dads understand that. I'm sorry. I don't understand that. 'Cause
all right, I got one more thing before we get out of here, man.
Oh, yeah? What you got, man?
I was reading this story and dude was talking about he got some buns at the family reunion. And then he found
Who does that?
That's actually my question is who gets buns at the family reunion?
I mean,
like, what place is it not okay for you to get buns? So the story goes, he got some buns.
Did his cousin bring her homegirls or something?
He talks to a mom. He talks to his mom, and his mom is like, that's your third cousin.
And he still did it.
He didn't know.
But it's your family reunion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many places are there in the world where you shouldn't get buns?
You shouldn't even be looking.
Like,
now.
I just, look,
You
man.
said how many? Hold on. I think family reunion is probably the only place. Like,
Like,
Who
you
is this nigga?
You
That's
should
a
just not
definite
get
place.
buns at the
That's-
family
like-
reunion.
But what other place can you not get buns? It's okay to get buns everywhere else,
I
but
just-
the family
look,
reunion
man,
has to be
I know
like
you was
even
gonna
see how
ask
that
us
could
some
happen,
stuff before we
like-
left.
that has to be like the
It's
only
a
place.
family reunion. Like, you should ask questions. Like, again, I've gone to family reunions where I might have had a cousin that bought a friend, but if I don't know this cousin like that, you know, I'm gonna ask the cousin, and then you go to a family reunion thinking everybody's your family. That's
Listen.
why they're like you should just
that-
assume everybody's
that
your
nigga
family.
right there just did not care. I don't care.
No, no, you know
about
what? I
He
can
didn't
agree.
care.
That
He like, my cousin
He
fine
seen
as shit.
I don't know you. You don't know me. We ain't grew up together. We
right,
ain't never
man.
seen each other.
So he tried to hit before he found out. That's what happened.
But no, but you had a family reunion. You must assume.
I'm just gonna hit before I find
my
out.
the family
That's
reunion I
what
went
happened.
to 4 years ago. I ain't been to a family reunion in 10 years. I didn't know none of my big family. I ain't know none of my cousins from South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Georgia,
Right.
this, that, and the third.
But you didn't fuck one,
But it's,
did
a,
you?
but it's a family reunion, so I'm just gonna assume and know. Okay, well that's my cousin through something. I don't know who we related by,
Son.
but you here. We
Hey,
family.
yo,
Yeah, man.
the
I think,
only place you cannot get buns is the family
No,
reunion.
man.
okay.
No, if God allows it, it's His will.
Lord have mercy.
He allowed it to happen.
Oh, man. This nigga Will always got to
Lord have
start.
mercy.
Hey, man. Thank y'all for listening, man. We out.
He said if God allows it. Said if God allows it. Said if God allows it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Prodigal.